Hi, everyone. I'm Mel Robertson, and I'd like to welcome you to the Dare to Dream Bigger Summit, where you're going to learn how to harness the power of creation, get clear about your desires, and bring your biggest dream into reality. I have another wonderful expert in store for you today. Her name is Nikkea B. Devida, and I chose her because she is the queen of getting people unstuck. If it needs to be organized, systemized, and monetized, Nikkea is your go-to resource for proven, effective systems to get clear, get unstuck, get going, and get results. She's the undisputed expert on accelerated results because she's blended the best practices in business with the latest discoveries in science, spirituality, and psychology to create breakthrough systems so you can become an unstoppable manifesting machine. Hi, Nikkea. Welcome.
Hi, good to be here. Thanks for having me here.
It's so exciting to have you here. Welcome, welcome. So I understand that you have a really interesting story about how you became an accelerated business results mentor. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. And like a lot of people, what we're doing today isn't necessarily what we thought, years ago that we'd be doing today. So it's been a very windy pathway to get to this. So I'll kind of give you a little bit of the winding road. And if it's okay, I like to have a little bit of fun with it
Please
because
do.
I'd like to say that my background is full of a lot of BS. So let me explain what I mean by that. The first BS is that I'm a born singer and a born systemizer. So ever since I was really young, I loved to sing, write music, write songs, things like that. So very creative, very right hemisphere oriented. At the same time, the born systemizer, I can systemize and organize anything. And so very strong in analytical skills, the left hemisphere of the brain. So it sounds good, right? And at the same time, though, it kind of set up an inner conflict of, which one was going to win out. But while that inner conflict was going on, there was an outward conflict going on. And I call it my brother struggle. When my parents got divorced when I was 9 years old in New York, from the time I was 9 to 17, my older brother I was brutally beaten for that entire time, nearly every day. So, and my mother was deaf, and so she didn't hear what was going on. And so I got beliefs and programs early on that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worth protecting, I wasn't worthy. All of these things really shaped a lot of what was going on during that time. And of course, like the world wasn't safe, it was a big, scary place, things like that. So when it came time to go to college, I wanted to get out of there as fast and as far as possible, as you might imagine. Yeah. So I started applying for colleges. Again, I grew up in New York. I started applying for colleges in California, and I moved my way eastward. I ended up at the United States Air Force Academy, where the next BS is I got a Bachelor of Science from there, and then I was in the Air Force active duty, where I negotiated and managed about $200 million worth of contracts at the age of 22. So that systemizer part was very validated. And so I was doing project management, systems, operations, logistics, things like that. When I got out of the Air Force, the next BS is business systems. I worked in corporate America. I worked for some big companies like Disney, Viacom, a software development company, a pharmaceutical company, again, where the systemizer part, systems, operations, logistics, supply chain management, project management, that was really what I was doing at a very high level, and I was very successful. So I like to say that I had all the trappings of success, right? But that's what they were. They were a trap. Because the next BS is what another thing I'll share personally with you. I gave you a little bit of a background about where everything was leading up to. I never had resolved all of essentially the abuse, the stress, the trauma from my background, including in the military. And so the next BS is what I call my bulimia struggle. It had to come out somewhere, right? The inner struggle, the outer struggle, all of that. And so with that, I was binging and purging an average of 2 to 6 times per day, every single day for 13 years. And I tried everything to overcome it. And ultimately, that's what led to a medical discharge from the Air Force, because I was hospitalized for 4 months prior to being medically discharged. So I tried all the traditional methods of change, therapy, pharmaceuticals, things like that. None of that worked. That's when I went to the alternative mind body techniques. And I kind of jokingly say there's not a modality I didn't write a check to, right? So there are about a dozen different modalities that I got certified in, certified to train, certified as a practitioner, because I thought if I just do it better, they're going to work.
Right.
They didn't. And it wasn't until the next BS that I got a shift. So that was belief systems. When I understood and learned about how to identify and change my subconscious beliefs, not just my conscious mind beliefs, but my subconscious mind beliefs, I was able to overcome the eating disorder in about 6 weeks. After 13 years, 2 to 6 times per day. That got my attention. So I started applying it to other areas of my life. And I got results in those areas too. Then other people started coming to me and asking me what was I doing, all of that. And that's what kind of set me on the course of being like an accidental entrepreneur. And so then, of course, I work with those people. They got results. Then I systemized it, of course. And I started to train other people how to do it. And that really is how the business got going. Here's the thing. I was an expert at identifying and changing subconscious beliefs and teaching other people to do it. I had no idea how to be a successful entrepreneur, right? So that's where I sought out mentors and how to teach me how to do that. And what was interesting about that is that what I call my next BS, which is behind the scenes, here I am sitting in a lot of experts' workshops and things like that, some very successful, fast-growing entrepreneurs in our industry. And what I noticed was operationally, they gave great information and content, ran a great workshop, but in their business and behind the scenes, a lot of things weren't working well. And so because of my background, I just went up to them and said, hey, I can help. So that's how a lot of the mentors like Harv Eker, Chris Howard, Allison Armstrong, Lisa Sastovich, Infusionsoft, and several others, I was there. They became my clients where I helped them systemize, organize, and monetize their businesses. And what's important about that is that I got to see at a very high level behind the scenes what the most successful people in our industry are doing and their business model, and all of that. And that's what I bring to my clients today as well. And so bottom line is what I do is create breakthrough systems, the next final BS, of accelerated results, where I'm really looking at the root cause of where someone is stuck, whether it's in their inner world or their outer world, to really apply the right system so that they can have a breakthrough.
Awesome. I love that. So this is Dare to Dream Bigger. How do you use those systems to create a big dream in your life?
Yeah, the biggest thing, my big dream right now is, remember I talked about the born singer and the born systemizer. And my big dream was to always unify and integrate music and songwriting back into my life and back into my business. And I found a way to do that. So, and how that's working now is I'm what I call it's a final BS, I guess you could say. My benevolent service is I'm in the process of setting up a nonprofit for women veterans called Sisters Who Serve. And I wrote and recorded a song as the theme song for that, for the organization to raise money, raise awareness. So I have a lot of programs that I'm doing with the women veterans and integrating the music, the holistic healing, my systems and operations background, and all of that to really get my philanthropic work out in the world to make a big difference. So my big dream is to really eradicate a lot of the challenges that these women veterans are facing.
So you manifesting a big dream, what is the key to manifesting our dreams?
Yeah, the biggest thing, like you heard in my background, it's not like I had an easy path. There's been a lot of trauma, abuse, and there's a lot of it that I didn't say. And so what really helped me, and this is really a big topic with a lot of information, and I want to give you like the biggest nuggets. I mean, this is something I've been studying formally since 1995. So if you haven't already, get out a pad of paper and a pen, because I'm going to give you a ton of stuff here, so you're going to want to take some notes. And so the first thing is an equation that I want you to write down on your paper. So write down a capital B with an arrow to the right to a capital T with an arrow to the right to a capital F with an arrow to the right to a capital A, then an equal sign to a capital R. So what is this equation? This is an accelerated results equation. And so it stands for your beliefs lead to your thoughts, which lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, which equal your results. So when you don't like the results that you are having in your life, then what you need to do is go to the left of the equation to the A. So here's what's going on. If you know what to do and you're doing it, you're probably getting the results that you want, right? But what if you don't know what to do? Well, then you don't know what actions to take. That's where telesummits like this, where you have all these experts lined up to give you the information, the education, the tools, the strategies, the knowledge. That's where these environments are so critically important to give you the right information so you can take action. But here's the thing. What happens if you know the right things to do and you're not doing them? Like, we all know how to lose weight. We all know how to, in a way, get more clients. There's certain things that you do, and a lot of us aren't doing them.
I'm guilty.
Okay, I know we all have. So what you need to do is go all the way to the left of the equation to the B for the beliefs, particularly your subconscious beliefs. So this is the key difference that makes the difference in getting those subconscious beliefs. So what it feels like, if this, to give you a kind of a word picture or an analogy, imagine a car analogy where you're sitting there with your foot on the gas and your foot on the brake at the same time. So Mel, when you do that, what happens?
You spin your tires.
Right, nothing, right? And it stresses out the engine really bad, so it's not even good for you or your car. So that's what it feels like when you have these limiting beliefs, and then also your desire to move forward and to have a better life, to dream bigger. So the easiest way to change that is simply take your foot off the brake. Right? So that's akin to changing those subconscious limiting beliefs so that you eliminate the negative beliefs and in its place, you put in the positive beliefs that's in alignment with where you say you want to go. That's really how it works. And so how you know if you have limiting beliefs is you look at your results. And if you like your results, you're probably fine. If you don't like the results that you're getting in your life, then it's pretty much, and you've taken some actions or things like that, then you probably have subconscious limiting beliefs that are standing in your way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that it's my responsibility and I can change it at any time when I realize that it's my subconscious beliefs.
Yeah, and the final piece to that is all limiting beliefs are not created equal. So here's the thing. A lot of people, I like to use a log jam analogy, and I call it the kingpin, where imagine in the logging industry, the logs are flowing down the river and sometimes there's a jam.
Right.
Well, one way to clear the jam is just to kind of randomly pick off the logs and things like that. Inefficient. Way better to go to the root cause of the jam, get those core logs that are causing the jam, and then everything else just flows really easily without resistance to the final destination. Well, same is true with your beliefs. A lot of people talk about belief change, but they're not going for the kingpins, and everybody's kingpins are different.
Right.
And so for you, what's important is to not just kind of randomly pick off beliefs, but go for those kingpins. Those are the highest priority beliefs that need to change, that really give you the biggest bang for the change buck, right?
Right.
And so do those, and all the other beliefs will shift, and that's the easiest way to take your foot off the brake. And so, no, and the key about that is those kingpins and these other beliefs. The bottom line is we were given programs to survive versus to thrive. And anyone listening to this telesummit, Dare to Dream Bigger, you're looking to thrive and really manifest as big as you possibly can. Whereas we were given beliefs and programs to just have us survive. And that's where the problem is. And we need to, take our foot off the brake.
I'm ready to thrive. I hope the rest of you out there are.
Yep.
So a lot of people have tried things like willpower, affirmations, positive thinking, visualization, meditation, law of attraction, hypnosis, EFT, NLP, etc., and many other techniques and modalities. Why do they work on some of the time but not all of the time? And what's the difference that makes the difference to getting consistent results?
Yeah, this is where I think that this is the crux of what I really want to leave everyone with. And I have 4 things that I want to share with you. 4 key distinctions between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. If you understand these distinctions, you're going to realize how important it is to address your subconscious mind and the subconscious beliefs, which is really, this is the bottom line of how people call me their secret weapon to becoming unstoppable. Is this information here. So the first distinction between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is that the conscious mind is the part of you that's responsible for making your choices, setting your goals, okay? Mm-hmm. That's the part of you that says, hey, I want to, dream big and this is what it looks like. The subconscious mind, however, is the part of you that's habitual or automatically programmed to do what you do, okay? That's the first distinction. It's choice versus habit. The next one is around time. The conscious mind understands linear time, past, present, future. It understands, what happened, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. And what is it that you aspire to? And you're dreaming bigger and your timeline, I want to do this 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever. Your conscious mind understands that timeline. Your subconscious mind, however, is present time only. And why this is important is because of what we now know in neuroscience and cellular biology, you were downloaded your subconscious beliefs 2 months prior to conception through a process called genomic imprinting. So why is this important? All of the beliefs and programs since 2 months prior to conception, and then all the way in utero, and then ages from birth to 5, and then all up until whatever age you are today, all of those beliefs and programs are operating in present time today. So if any of those happen to be negative or limiting, through your experience, they're alive and well today if you didn't have an exact, specific, precise method to reprogram those beliefs. So remember the car analogy, your foot is on the brake with all of those negative programming unless you had a way to remove your foot from the brake, present time only. And again, we were given beliefs to survive, not thrive in most of our programming, unless you were very, very unusual. So that's the second. And, I don't know about your family, but mine was, I didn't exactly get the best program. So I had a lot of work to do. So the next one is around language. The conscious mind understands, abstract language such as successful, dream bigger, happy, abundant, healthy, all of these different terms that we often, aspire to. The conscious mind understands what we're talking about, right? But the subconscious mind only understands what's literal language and the language of the 5 senses, what you can see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. And so the analogy I like to say about that is imagine, Mel, I have a message that I want to get to you, and you're my subconscious mind, and I'm the conscious mind. And let's say as the conscious mind, I know English, and you as my subconscious mind only know Italian, okay? So Mel, if I'm getting this message to you and I'm speaking English, you're speaking Italian, are you going to get the message?
No.
No. Now, what if I repeat it over and over? Are you going to get the message?
No.
No. Wait. But wait, what if I do it with a lot of passion and a lot of emotion, and I really mean it, and I put all my emotion and heart and all that into it? Are you going to get the message?
No.
No. This is the downfall of many change modalities, because they're relying on repetition, getting into the emotion, things like that, but they're simply not translating the message from the conscious mind, what you say you want, to the subconscious mind. So the message is not getting through. This is really important. So there's no translation. The fourth and final kicker here, to kind of add insult to injury, but there's hope, is the difference between the speed and processing capacity between the conscious and subconscious. The conscious mind processes 2,000 bits of information per second. So the conscious mind, 2,000 bits of information per second, which sounds like a lot, right? It's fast to me. But the subconscious mind, 4 billion with a B in bits of information per second. So when you compare processing capacity between the conscious and subconscious mind, it's astounding. In fact, if you do the math, which of course I did, it's 99.99995% of the power of what you manifest and the results that you get in your life are subconscious. Only 1/100,000th of 1% of the power of what you manifest is from your conscious mind. This information is from Dr. Bruce Lipton, a friend and colleague of mine. And so if there's a tug of war between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, who's going to win?
Yeah, quite obviously the subconscious mind.
Every single time,
yes.
Game over, no contest,
yeah,
right?
Right.
So we're not going to, through our will and positive thinking and all that, we're not going to overcome our subconscious programming. You have to get to the subconscious. And that's because it works like a thermostat. Just like in your home, there's a thermostat. And if you get above or below the temperature that it's set for, a mechanism kicks in to get you right back into that setting.
Right.
So the results that you say that you want, whether it's, if you're daring to dream bigger in relationships or health or in your business or whatever area of your life, if you're bumping up against that thermostat setting, that mechanism is going to kick in to get you back, unless you've overcome and changed that programming to change the thermostat setting. That's why it's not enough to rely on willpower, affirmations and just reading information, positive thinking, things like that. The good news.
There is good news, everyone.
The good news is that what we now also know through what's called neuroplasticity, it's actually possible and easy to change your subconscious beliefs through this process. And in fact, what we now know is we are just like a computer, where we are programmable biocomputers, and we can change those beliefs through neuroplasticity. So those beliefs can change.
Excellent. Well, I understand that you have a free gift you want to give everyone so they can really get clear about all this and have a deeper understanding of what we've been talking about. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Sure, I'll talk about that. And what I also want to share is, as part of understanding with a free gift, by changing those subconscious beliefs, I have a 5-step system that I want to share with everybody. And I use an acronym called CLEAR, CLEAR. And like I said, you can actually change your beliefs as easily as it turns out to editing a word processing document. You edit, you save, and you're done. And so it can happen in just minutes. And so of course, I systemize the process because that's what I do. So the accelerated change template process is a custom, precise belief reprogramming tool where you'll identify the right goal that you should be working on, the right beliefs that you need to change to be aligned with that result that you're saying that you want to go for, in the right order, with the right change tool, and how to know when you're done. no guesswork whatsoever. The system walks you through exactly step by step. And so, and everybody's kingpins are different. And so this system pinpoints what are the right beliefs for you so that you change your own kingpins. And so it's a 5-step system, acronym CLEAR, CLEAR. So let me go over that, and then I'm going to give you some gifts so that you can take that further. So the C is choose, communicate, and clarify the goals for the subconscious mind. This is goal setting for the subconscious mind, utilizing those 4 distinctions I talked about to make sure the message is properly getting to the subconscious mind where it belongs, where the power is. And I have a free gift that I want to share with you to teach you how to communicate directly with your subconscious mind and identify the beliefs that you have in your subconscious mind or don't have. So the gift is www.fast results formula. So results is plural with an S, fastresultsformula.com/Mel, MEL, in lowercase letters. So fastresultsformula.com/Mel in lowercase letters. So what I have is that video tutorial and a booklet for you to identify your communicate with your subconscious mind and identify your beliefs. That's the C. The L is what I call levels of permission. Levels of permission is making sure that it's safe and appropriate and in your highest and best good to do the change and have those beliefs and programs. So you know how when you're downloading software onto your computer, there's like systems requirements that say you have to have this kind of hardware in order to properly run the software.
Right.
The levels of permission step is kind of like that for your programmable biocomputer to make sure you can operate in your life with these new beliefs. And it also tells you how many beliefs can you change at the same time. Can you only go one at a time, or can you do more than one at a time? My system won't limit you in terms of the speed that you can change the beliefs and how much change you can take on at any given time. It's very robust. That's the L. The E is elicit the highest priority beliefs. So this is where you go for the kingpins that are unique and specific to you. And this is where you identify which ones, what are your log jams, what are your kingpins. The A is the align the beliefs and goals. And this is where the change happens. This is where with ACT, there are change processes in the body of work called ACT to actually change and reprogram those beliefs, simultaneously eliminating the negative belief and installing the positive belief that's in alignment with the goal that you set for yourself and the result that you want so that you can dream bigger. This is also what's great about this, and I'm so excited about, is ACT plays well with others. So this is where ACT will also tell you if it's not one of the change processes within ACT, it will tell you if it's another modality. So any other modality that you know and you love and you use, whether it's hypnosis, NLP, EMDR, all of these wonderful techniques that I'm certified in, a dozen of them myself. This is how you know what's the right tool for the job. Is it one of ACT's processes or any other modality? So again, very robust. And then finally, the R is repeat until complete. So that doesn't mean you're going to do the same change process over and over. Repeat until complete is how do you know when you're done with that belief change that only takes minutes, as well as how do you know if you've gotten all the beliefs that you needed to change to be in alignment for that result that you're going for? Because it's not usually just one belief. There could be many kingpins that you need to align. And then, of course, if you're daring to dream bigger in lots of areas of your life, there are different beliefs in many of those different areas of life. So my belief change system will help you to identify that very specifically and precisely.
I love that.
So that's really the 5-step system. And then the gifts I have for you, the one I already talked about was the video tutorial in the booklet, but there's a few others. So there's also, this is a, kind of a short interview that we packed in a lot of information. I have an audio for you also that is like an hour and a half long, that if this is of interest to you, you can download that 90-minute audio that I go into much more detail about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and all of that. And then I also have an ebook called Stop Trying Harder, How to Get Unstuck Without Coming Unglued,
Nice.
right? A lot of people think that change is hard. It's not. It's easy. It can be fast, and you can get results much faster than you thought. And that book will talk about that.
It's all about how you believe you change, right?
What's that?
It's all about the belief that you have about how you change. Do you believe change is hard, or you believe change is easy?
Exactly. And the thing is, the cellular biology and the neuroscience supports now that it can be. Because just like editing a word processing document, you call it up, you edit, you save, you're done. That's how easy it is to change your subconscious beliefs. That's how fast, that's how easy, once you learn the steps to do it. So no, it doesn't have to be hard, take a long time, doesn't have to be painful, all of that stuff. So then I have an accelerated results tips e-zine, a complimentary subscription for you. And then the final gift that I want to share with you is what I call an accelerated breakthrough session. If this is resonating with you and you're really wanting to, daring to dream bigger, which all of you are, and you're thinking that, I might have some of that programming in my way, and you're wanting to really identify the most strategic thing that you can do to have a breakthrough in your results, then whether it's with your belief systems or stuff that's going on in your business or your life, whatever it is, I invite you to have that session with me. It's a one-on-one complimentary session that there's an application process. So you fill out the application, and if your application gets accepted and you'll set an appointment with me, then it's it's the most strategic thing that you can do to have a breakthrough in your results. The way it goes is we take a look at what's going on. What's the problem? Where are you daring to dream bigger and you're not hitting the mark? And then, what's the challenge? Where do you want to go? And let's see, is it the subconscious that's getting in your way? Is it something else? My gift is to identify that most strategic thing, whether it's in your inner business systems or maybe your operational systems in your life, whatever it is, and we'll make sure to pinpoint exactly how you can dare to dream bigger and actually get the result that you're going for. I have one favor. There's one catch, that I know we're all really busy, right? If you do apply for a breakthrough session and you get accepted and you make an appointment, I just ask you to show up for your appointment or to let me know if you need to cancel or reschedule. These sessions are in very high demand. They're $750 value just to have that conversation with me that you're getting for free. And so I only have a limited number of these sessions. So just be professional. You'd want someone to do that for you too. So this is where business karma comes in. And so show up for yourself the same way you want other people to show up for you. So that's the only favor I have that's a professional courtesy. So I can serve as many people as possible, just like you want to. Fair enough? All right. So that's really what I have for everybody.
Thanks so much. Those are really great gifts, and especially that session with you. What an honor that is. Thank you for offering that. I appreciate that. Well, before we go, do you have any last words you'd like to leave our guests with?
I think really the biggest thing is just remember that equation, and that car analogy, beliefs lead to thoughts, lead to feelings, lead to actions equal results. And if you're not seeing the results, get those subconscious beliefs out of your way. That's a big one. The other one is, this is a telesummit full of amazing mentors and experts. If you don't know what you need to do, find a mentor who has the results that you want. And then study with them, model them, and really help accelerate your path by having a mentor or a coach to support you. And I think the final one is I make a difference and a distinction between being interested in getting results and daring to dream bigger and being committed to it. So when you're just interested in it, It's like, well, if it's easy, if it's convenient, if I'm in the mood, if it feels good, if there's not too much resistance or anything like that, I'd like to dare to dream bigger, right?
Right.
If there's an obstacle or a challenge that comes your way, you may give up or you may decide, well, maybe I don't want to dream that big. But when you're committed, you'll do anything it takes, whatever it takes to get that dream. You'll go over, around, through, that obstacle to get to that dream. Now, that's your conscious mind. What if have your subconscious mind committed to that dream that you say that you want at that 4 billion bits of information per second level, that 99.99995 power of your subconscious mind? When you're committed both at your conscious mind level and your subconscious mind level, that is the secret weapon to becoming unstoppable. So that's what I leave you with.
Yeah, become unstoppable, and I dare you to dream bigger. Thank you so much, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Excellent.